Hi guys, it's Nancy, Pretty NLC Designs. Thanks for being here. I'm actually doing prepping some molds for some deep pour resin, some little new Let's Resin molds. They're the dragons, you know, the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil thing. They just came out. I just got them yesterday actually. So I thought I would try get them prepped up and show you guys how they come out. I'm going to switch the cameras now. Okay, so these little molds, I have this one folded inside and out. inside out. I actually went ahead and did, I'm doing the Let's Resin. This one is blue. It's the Intense Chameleon powder from Let's Resin. So I went ahead and did the blue in here, and I had some extra powder left out, so I went ahead and just did it in this bow mold. I always kind of keep extra molds around, so that's why I got all this mess and it looks kind of dirty. I flipped this guy inside out. I'm using, that one was the blue, and then this is going to be the maple color. I'm going to use deep pour resin, but I'm just going to kind of show y'all how let's just try it, see what happens. I've never, these are some new molds. I love them. They're so cute when I saw them. I'm going to be using, what is it called? CounterTop Epoxy. And I'm going to use the deep pour resin in these. The Let's Resin site does say that it takes like 12.6 ounces of resin to do these molds. So I'm going to have that mixing in just a second. Actually, I probably should have already had it mixing, but I wanted to get these guys all set up. And I'm going to be putting black in the resin. They do have a black resin, but I don't have that. I'm just going to use some pigment paste. Well, I will probably just use some ink, some resin pigment, I guess you could say, pigment ink. That's not easy for me to say, is it? Now, this is a little messy. That's why I got my gloves on. I'm going in here. I flipped him inside out. I'm using these little micro brushes to get into the little crevices that I can't get in with my makeup brush, and it is just an eyeshadow brush. Actually, I didn't do this with the blue one, so we'll see how those come out. I do plan on going back and highlighting him with some gold, either gold leaves or let me see if I can get that brush down in there. Let's see what I'm doing here. Just going to shove him in there without, it's a soft brush, so I'm not going to be scratching up my molds or anything. But I do want to try to get him into all these little crevices. I think this is his hands. Like I said, I am going to come back and go in with them. Let me get a Q-tip. Let's do a Q-tip. I'm going to go back in, and once he's done, I will either gold leaf him or use a metallic marker. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how they come out. Deep pour resin is going to take at least 24 hours to dry, possibly a little bit longer. This depends on the temperature of your room. I did have my heaters going, so it's kind of warm in this room right now. Let's get this guy in here. Let's see here. You always want to use something kind of soft, so that way you don't scratch up your mold. And get him in there. Once I turn him inside out, I'll go back in with this Q-tip, and you can get these from Harbor Freight or online, Amazon. Pretty easy to find large Q-tip sticks. Use them in either, I don't really know what they use them for, but I found them in the hardware store. So, alright, so I just flipped him back out. Now, as you guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's not solid in there. So I'm going to go back in here with my brush, kind of redusting back in. I will shake it out. That's why I have some parchment paper down. You could have a paper plate down, anything, just to kind of catch your excess powder. You don't want to waste it, you know. That's why I got some molds out to and I'm using what I have right here. You can see I had blue underneath this earlier. That doesn't bother me. So I'm just going to go in, kind of tap in, kind of reach the little crevices that I wasn't able to meet with my my brush. Kind of see what little places I have missed. So again, like I said, if you know, once this is done, you can come back and highlight him with a metallic marker or gold leaf, which would be really kind of cute. It's just a little bit of a, or you know, you're putting black in here, it's really going to make these intense mica, chameleon mica powders work. So another company I like is Glitter Chimp. They have them as well. Tons of mica powders. Great prices for mica powders. I love that they come in a little jar, so I don't have to, well, their glitter comes in a little jar as well. So, okay. I think I got him all covered in. You can also come in here and see where you're kind of missing some spots, where it's not as intense as you want it. So I'm just going to go back in here, go that. Now I'm going to go kind of get all my extras out, right? That guy's done. Now, since I'm using the maple, I've got this little leaf out, and I'm just going to kind of dab, because the next color I'm using is green, and that's perfect for these leaves for fall. We have these. Just kind of dab it in there. Now on these I will use regular 2-part epoxy, and I'm probably just going to cover it with gold on the back of those. Okay. And let's get started on the next one. Actually, I even have these picture frame molds, so you can get these on Amazon as well. I'm just gonna kind of, you know, you don't want to waste your mica powder. Mica powders, these are not cheap, and tons of way to just kind of add. Again, if I wanted it to be solid, then I would just go around the whole thing, but I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of dimension by using green, and so the gold will work perfect with these. The blue bows, I am going to use I think I'm going to use 2-part epoxy as well in that, but I'm going to put probably black. Okay, so, okay. Now for this little guy, this is the one that has on his eyes. So again, all I'm doing is flipping him like inside out. These are really some really good tough molds. So, some good quality. Okay, so we are going to use, let's see here, the green one for him. I just love how, and I'm using the same brush, I just kind of wipe a little bit off of there, I had these upside down in my bin. So I'm going to start out with just doing that, just so that I don't waste all that. And yeah, just kind of can't wait to see how these guys turn out. Sorry, I'm putting them back on the camera. I have a tendency to pull myself away from the table. I don't know why. I push back, and then next thing you know, I'm like crafting over the carpet, and believe me, the carpet knows. Just not like me. Okay, so I'll just use the same color. That part doesn't bother me. Get those in there. Let's see if I can get it in that crease. And I know people are, you know, everybody does this differently, and some people are like, oh my gosh, you're using way too much mica powder. Well, let's just see how it comes out. Again, I'm not hurting the mold. It's a pretty good structured mold, good quality. But let's see here, we got some fuzz in there from my this Q-tip that I've just demolished, right? Okay, so I'm just making sure I'm getting inside that little, yeah, see, I missed that whole area right there. Let's get another one. Get another one out. Like I said, I get these guys off of at Harbor Freight. If you're not familiar with Harbor Freight, it's just a I'm not going to say it's a lower end part store, but they usually have really good deals. Whoops, I just broke that one, didn't I? So, see, this is really tough, but my stick wasn't as tough as my all right, let me get into those little grooves. You know, it's the same kind of, you could use these just like using the makeup eyeshadow applicators, I guess, is another thing you can use. Just as long as you get into the holes. There we go. That guy's in there. Whoops. All right, we're done with that one. Okay, so actually I'm going to go ahead and just start. Again, it's probably way too much. Probably going crazy, wasting. Look, it picked up some of the brown, which is kind of cool. And I kind of like that. I may have to go over it with brown now. See how that one does. Instead of just using one solid color. Actually, I'm going to come back and put gold leaf on these guys. I think those would be really, really pretty. You could even still brush on some different mica powders as well. After you get them done, you're just going to use, I honestly just use the gold leaf glue, and then, oh my gosh, these are going to be just, I love these colors. It's just so pretty. All right, guys. Now let's do this. And we should be able to see where we got in and where we didn't. Main thing is that you want his little horns up there done, his face done. Let's get some more brown, some more gold. Gold, oh my gosh, I have gold on the brain. Some more green in here. And yeah, I'm excited about these guys. I wish they were littler. I wish I had some little bitty ones. How cute would that be? Now I'm gonna have to Google. Anybody know if there's any little bitty ones like this? Because these are adorable. Let's get my brush into there, into those peaks. Okay. So that guy's covered up. Perfect. All right. Now let's get the green off of the table into here. Okay. And now I do like the Axe to have a black cherry color that's perfect for if you're going to be doing fall leaves. But I mean, look how pretty that is. Let's just get this. Pretty, 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 pretty. All right, let's get this done in here. I hope everybody's having a great day today. I'm actually having, like I said, I am new to YouTube, but I'm actually having fun. Like just coming in here and doing some recordings and just putting them on and keeping it, you know, I mean, it's not edited. It's just going to be the way it is. Get me in all my mistakes and all my glory, I guess you could say. Let's get the insides though. Up, up, up. Whoops, look how pretty that is. And then with gold, let's get these guys. I wish I would have done that on silicone matte, because then you could have just put some, laid some silicone on there, some resin on it, and peeled it up later. That would be really pretty for some earrings. Could definitely do that with the earrings. These little picture frames are perfect for Halloween projects or antique looking projects. I'm more for the Halloween. I'm not really really into antiques too much unless it has something to do with Halloween. I love scary. I love scary, but I don't like scary movies. All right, I'm going to need a little bit more. How pretty. Okay, let's just use the stuff in the lid. Here we go. These are so cool. I'm trying to stay in focus with you guys. Or stay into the camera since I keep moving. Alright, let's see here. Now I know, you know, it's like, eventually I will get to where I can have the fancy, you know, do the editing and do all that kind of stuff. But right now, no. I'm lucky that I even got on here right now and doing this, because I never in my life imagined doing videos and putting myself out there for people. I was actually, I retired a couple of years ago and as air traffic controller, and I loved it because I could tell people what to do, but I didn't have to see them face to face. So that's a little bit about me. I get kind of shy sometimes. Okay, so we got those things done. Now I'm going to get my resin mixed. So we're going to be using, I'll have to clean this brush out later. will be using, what do you call it? Deep pour resin. Right now I have my okay guys. I'm going to move these guys right here because these guys will be getting 2-part epoxy, which I will also be pouring. Let's clean up this sheet. I'm just going to do this. Put these guys right here. And clean up my mess. Alright guys, I'm going to change my gloves. And I will be grabbing my resin. Actually, I need to put on some more gloves. And maybe. Sorry, that probably sounds awful. Okay. Maybe I will have to edit this because my daughter said she would help me. So that's awesome. Can't wait for her to help me do some. Alright, let's see here. Sorry. As you can see, there's a big mess in here. Alright, so I'm going to be using FX Deep Cast. It's a faux Rizzle countertop epoxy. And it's a 2-to-1 ratio. Let's see here. 2 parts hardener to where is it? 2 parts, 2-to-1 ratio. I'm trying to remember which one I'm supposed to do first. I always pour my B first. Okay. It says I'm going to need 12 ounces. I need a bigger container. I need a bigger container. Let's see here. That one's kind of dirty. I'm not going to use that. Well, I have a 10-ounce one, so I'm going to mix a couple of, I'll have to mix 2 different sets. So, let's see here. Let's go with, now it is kind of yellow, but that's okay because I'm going to make it, I'm going to be putting, it should be clear, but I'm actually putting a color in it. So, 2 parts resin to 1 part hardener. Okay. So, let's see here. I'm going to go with 3 ounce. Let's do 3 ounces, and it will be, this is old resin, but I've had it for a while. So if I do 3, then I need 6 of this one, and I need to put my mask on. So hold on, guys. So okay, let me grab my mask. I'm not really sure you guys can hear me doing this, but having some sticks, and I have to put some music on. I will speed this part up. Let's see here. Okay guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'll have to do a voiceover on this video just to show y'all what I was doing, but it's kind of hard whenever you have the mask on to talk. So I ended up using some Let's Resin Black. I used some charcoal mica powder in it from Glitter Chimp, and then I also added some Just Resin pigment paste. I never have a problem with it, like throwing off my, I say that now and it probably will happen, throwing off my ratio. I didn't use, in my opinion, I didn't use that much, especially for a deep pour resin. So I think it's going to be okay. Again, we'll have to see and find out if I ended up doing the wrong amount. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off my desk here. Yeah, I'm just cleaning it with 91% 91% alcohol. And then the alcohol spray that I actually poured on the top of those molds was actually 99% isopropyl alcohol. I can't say that very well. So now I'm going to pour some resin, and this time I'm not going to wear my mask, but please wear your mask whenever you do this. Use the proper PPE. And yeah, I'm going to put on some new gloves. Just get some regular, we're going to do black for one of these, and then for the others I'm going to do gold. I'm actually going to use the metallic paints for that by Let's Resin. I do use quite a bit of Let's Resin, but there are some other products that I use as well that I really like. So this is a pretty long video. I will cut it down to where it is only a portion. you're not sitting here through this really long video. So I'm actually going to pour me some more resin. This time just regular 2-part epoxy. I'll speed this up because it does take quite a bit of time to mix my epoxy. I'm actually going to mix just 3 ounces. I'm thinking that's going to be more than enough. This is the 1-to-1 ratio, so I have 1.5 of my B, and then I have 1.5 of my A. It's a little thicker. It's actually, this CounterTop Epoxy is a thick epoxy. I love it. I've used it for years for my tumblers. But it will, it does thicken up quite a bit, and it takes a little while to heat up. So, when I do this video, when I upload the video, it will be sped up for you guys, okay? I do have a an epoxy mixer. I've had it for years, but I probably should have put it mixing a while ago. I wasn't sure how long I was going to take with the other one. So again, it's going to be just a few more minutes. Sorry about that, guys. I am mixing it kind of fast. See, it's really a thick epoxy, so usually when I use the other one, it doesn't have a lot of bubbles. But this stuff works for me. I don't really recommend a specific brand over a different brand of epoxy, mainly because it all depends on your environment. You know, what's the humidity like in where you live? What's the temperature? Some work great. Some people are allergic to certain epoxies. The smell may be too strong. Some people have more sensitive smell. Of course, you're going to want to use your PPE, your mask and stuff like that. So at this moment, don't do what I'm doing and work in a very well ventilated area. So the black that I used for the liquid, for the alcohol ink. So actually, wow, I didn't realize that I did alcohol ink, mica, and pigment paste all in the same thing. Oh, let's see how that comes out, right? I guess we'll know in a day or two. So kind of like doing this. This is kind of fun, recording myself. Of course, you guys are not going to want to sit through this long video. So I'll get my daughter to help me. I go see her next month, actually. So maybe if I don't learn before then how to edit my video and get it to where you guys are not sitting here watching me. I've seen people like fast forward their videos through the mixing and stuff like that, and that's pretty cool. So I'm hoping I can do that as well. I love using the heater for these guys. Matter of fact, before I pour the epoxy in them, I will put the trays underneath them so that I can put them in the heaters. I have 2 different heaters. I have one's by Resiners, and it looks like a little food dehydrator, but it's actually for your resin products. I even put my clay in there to dry sometimes. But majority of the time I just use that, or I have some resin tumbler heaters that I've had for years. They're not the nice new fancy ones. They're called WonV is the brand, WONV. They're just the reddish orange metal box. I've had them, I bought them when they very first came out and they work great. Of course, I've upgraded my spinners since then, my tumbler spinners, and they don't recommend putting them in the heat. So to me, they're pretty pricey. So I don't put them in the heat now. I just usually use my heaters for bigger projects or trays and stuff like that. Stuff that does not fit in the dehydrator looking heaters. So with the trays, if I need something, if I got something that's a couple of inches tall, then I will just stick them in there. And then also I like the fact that I can just put, like I put those dinosaurs or those dragons in there, and I can just close it up and let it keep any heat, anything from them, and I don't have risk the chance of knocking them over and stuff like that. So, all right, that's enough for that guy. Whoops, I'm gonna clear that out before it scares me beeping. Let me grab my actually, let's just pour a little bit of, I do waste, sorry about that, I do waste my cups. I'm not a fan of the silicone ones for this stuff. I do use it for the UV resin. I use these little guys for my UV resin, and if I'm pouring a bunch of different little colorants, I do that. But I don't like the feel of it. It's so weird. I just don't like the cups, and I feel like I get a lot of little floaties when I use my silicone cups for actual mixing. You can save the, well, these ones you can't. These you could. You just leave your stick in there and then you scrunch it up or cut it up, squeeze it, and then you'll be able to pull out your stuff out of them. The alcohol ink isn't very, still kind of opaque on this one. That's why I ended up using the mica powder. Pigment paste will definitely give you a solid color, which I really like. But earlier I didn't realize I still had some black, because I had one black I used the other day and it was kind of old, so it kind of got like grainy kind of, and I didn't like the way it came out. So, but then I was thinking, I thought I had more than one, and thankfully I did. That's why I ended up using the resin pigment paste with the little dragons that I just did. I would have used that over using the alcohol inks, and of course I just overflowed that, which is okay. I'm just gonna slide him all over into the next one. I'm a very messy crafter, messy resin pourer, but that's okay. I'm the one that has to clean it up. So I say that's okay right now while I'm doing it, but it's a pain when I'm cleaning it. And that's when I'm going, why can't you be a cleaner? I tell myself then, be a cleaner crafter. So let's see here. I do like this resin. It is what people use for their kitchen countertops. So you can't have food can come into contact with it. This is what it's made for. You know, I mean, you don't want to bite it or eat it, you know, but it's not going to hurt your food to come in contact with it. I use it for my tumblers. So, and it's supposed to be up to 500 degrees heat. So you can put like a, and I've tried it with some of my coasters. I put a hot cup of coffee on them just to see if it works. And it works wonderfully. It was under faux Rizzle when it first came out years ago. And then they sold it off to their sister company, which is CounterTop Epoxy, and they're based out of Colorado. So here in Texas, it gets here really, really fast. Okay, so I made a little bit too much black, so I'm going to grab another mold really fast and see what I can put that in. Let's see here. I will grab a... Let's grab some gummy worms for Halloween. That would be fun. Okay. It does have a lot of bubbles right now. When I heat it up, it's going to not be as much. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to pour it with the gold. And we can make some Halloween. Some gummy bears for Halloween. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So here I'm using the metallic alcohol inks by Let's Resin. I've used my gold a lot, so I don't really know if I have a lot left. You do have to shake these little guys up though. As you can see, this is the one that I've used quite a bit. Sorry, that's probably like, what is she doing? Alright, let's get this going. Get that mica powder out of it. And another thing you could use mica powders in here for these. Let me get another. I guess I'm going to get a couple of these out because I'm going to do a couple of different colors with the, whoops. I'm working on a glass mat. It cleans up pretty easily with my resin, so I really love that. And I forgot to get my little trays out, so now I'm going to have to get my trays out. This is just the back of it, but it will draw in some of the gold. I think I'll do a different gold on the other ones, just so that we have a little bit of different leaves. Should have went with a brass color, I think, a brassiness. So, what you put in there? Okay. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more to this. I have a 45-minute work time with this resin, so that's pretty nice. Let's move you over here. Again, I hope I get better with doing, I know I will be better doing my videos. I'm still learning. Let's use, trying to figure out what color to use with this. here's a bronze. Alright. Hopefully it's already opened. Yes. This one actually might be a little bit too close to that that maple. Actually, I kind of like this gold a lot better, or this color better. It's not enough resin. Here we go. All right. Let's do a little bit more. Probably metallic overload, huh? All right. I may end up doing a complete voiceover on this whole thing, fast forwarding it. I'm going to try it. I'll try to do my own editing on this. All right. How pretty. Oops, that one's a little bit too much. That's okay. Now for these guys, let's do both. Let's mix them together and see what happens. Kind of gives it a weird coloring. Kind of, can you guys see that? I found a black in here, so let's use the black. It's a metallic black. I was supposed to shake it up and I didn't shake it up. I do like these metallic colors. I think they're very, very pretty. But look at that. That's kind of a different color scheme. Color, not a scheme, I guess you could say. It's a I'm kind of hurrying up now just because I don't know why. I'm like, this is my video. I'm recording it, right? I will condense this definitely, though, for you guys. And let's see here. All right. That in there. Get these guys in here. Like I said, I'm a very messy crafter, but you hate to have to clean up your mess after, especially doing these kind of molds. You hate having to, well, I hate having to come back and clean them all up and get him out of there, get all the crevices, because I didn't clean it all up like I was supposed. I didn't pour it so daintily, I guess you can say, correctly. All right, let's see. We got a little bit of this one left in here. Let's see if we can do this one. There we go. I do need to put a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is now if I sell these, I will sell these as just like a one-off because I've added so many different colors in them. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to get the right color again. So this would be just one simple resin step. Let's see here. It's starting to thicken up on me. All right. Let's go back with the bronze on that one. On these guys. Here we go. I hope my hands are not in the way. And you guys are able to see this. Here we go. I'll go back and clean these guys up. I just need to get this in here since I'm coming up on my time limit. Now I know it says I have like up to 45-minute work time in here, but it all depends also on the heat in your room. My room is a little warm right now. Like I said earlier, I had put my heaters on just to kind of warm up some of my epoxy. And so now I'm definitely feeling that I'm going to have not as long of a work time. Again, these are not going to be perfect like other videos. I'm not that good yet. I strive to be. That's my goal. My goal is to make some really high quality videos for you guys. But right now, and I would love it if you guys could stick around and you could see my growth, you know. That would be awesome to see how, let's look back at this in a year and see how, if I grew any. How about that? All right. So I got all of those in there. I'm going to run some heat on them really fast. Throw some alcohol in these guys. Let's see here. I see some bubbles in this guy right here. When I have little molds like this where it's got those little edges, I'll just come in and make sure that I get the little air pockets out of those, because I know that's where there's going to be an air pocket just on the tips of these and the little corners. I don't poke down really hard. I don't want to cut my mold. But I definitely want the little extra. I want to make sure it's all in there like it's supposed to be, the little tips. Okay. Here, let's make sure we get the little corners where I see any kind of popping up. Sometimes I do go around like this all the way around. I can do it with a toothpick. But that will get those to the surface. Now for this guy right here, let's make some more. Let's do 3 colors. Okay. We're going to do black, green, or actually, let's do a, let me get some, I've got too much resin on my fingers here. We got a peach red. I have no idea how good that's going to come out, but let's do that one. And with the black, and then let's go with a green. This one was even open yet. Yes, it is. Okay. So I'm just going to mix this in here. The alcohol inks are great for this part. So let's see. I may not have enough resin left over for all of these. That's okay. Let's just see if we can at least get 3 of these guys done. Okay. Then we're going to go with the oops. That one was a little bit of a mess. That one was a little bit of a mess. And then let's go with the black right there. Okay. And I think we're just going to end up doing one that's black and pink in the middle. Okay. And then let's do pink, some black. See how thick this stuff is getting? Oops. And I'm making a big mess. Here we go. I just wasted so much resin right there. So we can get the rest of this in here. I think we can do another one just like that. can go there. I can go here. Whoops, it's a mess. That's a mess. Okay. We use just about all of it. Now, let's get all that cleaned up. I don't want it to bleed too much over into that. So there we go. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll get these unmolded for you guys. Thanks.